was Zerubbabel, who was the leader, the Persian governor. Zerubbabel is a man who could be king. He's a grandson of the last legitimate king, but he never takes the title. And Zerubbabel has as his right-hand man Joshua, who is his priest. And he has Zechariah and Haggai as the prophets. And they lead about 30,000 people back to start the rebuild of Jerusalem and the rebuild of the temple. And Haggai is the one who urges the people to keep on with the job. But Zechariah is given the revelation which sends the shiver down our spine as we read it in chapter 12. Zechariah 12:10, because he's talking about, in chapter 12, in that day, verse 8, the Lord will defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And he will fight against those who try to destroy Jerusalem. So it's referring right to that last period of world history. And verse 10, I will pour on the house of David and on the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplication. Then they will look on me, whom they pierced. Yes, they will mourn for him as one mourns for his only son, and grieve for him as one grieves for a firstborn. On that day there will be great mourning in Jerusalem. Zechariah then goes on to unfold more details about the final battles that Daniel began to see in his revelation. And he talks about these battles and about some of the things that come to pass in them. And he gives us a glimpse of just how horrific these are. And there is a description in here which we're going to pick up again in Ezekiel and in Isaiah. And in chapter 14, this is the plague with which the Lord will strike those who fight against Jerusalem. Their flesh will dissolve while they stand on their feet. Their eyes will dissolve in their sockets. Their tongues will dissolve in their mouths. I should have checked with my children here. This is an R18 lecture, this one really, isn't it? This has happened. It happened at Hiroshima. It happened at Nagasaki. And if you turn back to Isaiah 29, 5-7, you have another description, and Isaiah is the prophet from 150 years before Zechariah. And in Isaiah 29, you have a description that for all of us who had to study nuclear, biological and chemical warfare and defence makes the hair stand on the back of our heads.